Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of 410 Sports Talk. I'm James Haskell, along with no one else. No, I'm totally kidding. Brad and DK are in the background, and Glenn should be here shortly. But look, we didn't want to keep you guys waiting any longer. Rain, shine, doesn't matter. We wanted to be here to talk about the Baltimore Ravens schedule release. It feels like today the football season starts to come into picture, right? It starts to culminate and get exciting. I'm really, really excited to talk about this. I'm going to make some way too early predictions. I'm probably going to predict we're going 17-0. But one of the things I want to mention is if you guys haven't seen the Ravens, first of all, I want to get everyone's opinion. Did anyone see the Ravens schedule release video? I thought it was good. I wasn't like the biggest fan. I wasn't a fan of the fact that they didn't actually specifically point out every single game. Right. It was just kind of like some highlight games, whatever. But I did like that they used a local star. Brad thinks it was terrible. Forced. Did you think it was forced, Brad, a little bit? Little forced. Yeah. Felt like the plot got a little, you know what it reminded me of? Yeah, it was out of order. Do you remember, those like 1990s movies where the plot is really thin, right? Where it's like, this doesn't make a lot of sense, but the whole movie hinges on one sentence that a person said. And that's it, right? Like Brad might be too young for 1990s movies, but but to be honest with you guys, there was a little bit of that in there. But I like the accent. I like the cameos. They used some local places that was fun. And so it was a good time, but we'll see how it compares to the other teams. I haven't seen it. But look, ladies and gentlemen, we are here to talk about the schedule. I'm probably going to have some differing opinions than Glenn, but let's get right into it. There's some highlights that I'm going to start with. What's up, Sean, and everybody else in the chat? Michael, Ravens Flash Report. DK, do you mind popping this up on the screen? We're going to get right into it. All right, so here we go. First of all, let me just run down through it. For those of you that are listening audio only, I'm going to run through it all in chronological order, and then we'll talk about some specific games. But all right, well, let's start with week 1, of course, on a Thursday night, opening up the NFL season against the Super Bowl winning Kansas City Chiefs, as much as that pains me to say. That is week 1. Like I said, we're going to get back to these, so I'm going to run through these first. Week 2, we're staying in the AFC West, and that's an away game, in Arrowhead. Week 2, we are at home, but staying in the AFC West against the Las Vegas Raiders. Week 3, we are on the road. Let's see. Does it have? Oh, the purple ones are at home, right, DK? Okay, so we're on the road in Dallas. In fact, if there's any Baltimore Ravens fans that watch the show and live in Dallas, there's a good chance I'm going to be at this game in Dallas. My older brother lives there. He's been dying for me to come out there. So there's a high likelihood that I'm going to be at this game in Dallas. However, it is one day before my son's birthday. So now that I'm thinking about it, I might not be, because my wife might not be a big fan of it. But there's a chance. So if you're in Dallas, you want to hang out, let me know. Anyway, that's week 3 in Dallas. Which is a venue. If you guys have never been, it's amazing. Even the practice facilities and stuff like that. I stay at a hotel in Arlington, and it's right next to their practice facility. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, so week 4, another spicy one for the AFC, of course, with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills coming into town. Week 5 is our first divisional game, so something to point out, and that is against the Cincinnati Bengals. Week 6, and that is in Cincinnati. It's an away game. Week 6, we're back at home against the Washington Commanders and their rookie quarterback-led team, assuming he's the starter. I'm guessing he will be. Week 7, we're back on the road and got a 2-game road streak here against the well-known in the AFC North, Baker Mayfield, down in Tampa Bay. Sorry, DK, I can't read lips. Dang it. I'm sorry. I used to be a lot better at this. But week 8, of course, is against the familiar foe. Let's see what DK's got to say here. Oh, that's a Monday night game. Good point. Yeah, Monday night game. Of course, they've got to, it's Monday night. It's Lamar. It's Baker. It's heartbreaks if you're a Baker fan, as normal. It's just kind of how it goes. All right. So I'm not going to trash on Baker Mayfield here, but let's see. Week 8 is the Cleveland Browns. This is our first matchup against the Browns, if you guys haven't already noticed based on the schedule. So that's our second division matchup, and that is our both division matchups on the road, and through week 8, essentially halfway through the season, we only have 2. So pretty backloaded. I think like last year was pretty backloaded as well. Week 9, we are back at home against the rebuilding Bo Nix-led Denver Broncos. Week 10, we're staying at home. So we had 2 on the road, 2 at home now, on a Thursday night against the Cincinnati Bengals again. Let's see what DK's got to say here. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Brad. I appreciate that. Let's see. So week 11, Steelers in Pittsburgh. Week 12 on November 25th. That's not Thanksgiving. That's a Monday. So it's definitely not Thanksgiving. November 25th, Monday night, of course, is against it's the Harbaugh, right? It's against John Harbaugh led Ravens West, that being the Los Angeles Chargers, who have a ton of familiar foes that will be fun to play against. Of course, and then week 13 at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. If you notice, I haven't said we have a bye week yet, because our bye is not until week 14, ladies and gentlemen, not till week 14. Pretty intense stuff there, and we'll get into that. Sunday, week 15, of course, we play against the New York Giants in New Jersey, in the Meadowlands. Week 16, we play against the Steelers. And then 17, we have a Christmas game on a Wednesday night on Netflix against the Houston Texans. And then week 18 to close out the season, of course, to be determined on the time, whether it be primetime or not. But of course, that would be against our division rival. Division foe. I don't know if division rival, that might be a strong word, but the Cleveland Browns. So a couple notes here as far as the games go. There's a total of 5 primetime games and Christmas. Did I get that right, DK? So really 6. I mean, I know Netflix is not technically primetime, but everyone's going to be watching that on Christmas, right? Like, let's be honest, guys. Everybody's got Netflix. Like, if you don't have it, your parents have it, right? Like, somebody has it. So as much as they're trying to stop that, somebody has Netflix, so you're watching the game. All right. So the primetime games are, of course, the Chiefs on Thursday night to open the season. The Bills, that's a Sunday night game in week 4. And then the week, like DK pointed out, the week 7 game against the Bucks is a Monday night game. The Bengals game in week 10 is a Thursday night game. And then the Chargers game is a Monday night game in week 12. So a lot of things to talk about here. First of all, let's start with right where we were at. The primetime game was, the number of primetime games, I'm not surprised by it, right? Because the Ravens were who they were last year. They played really well. They have a box office quarterback in Lamar Jackson. And so we know the league loves to, latch onto those storylines and make every dollar they can off them, because they're not stupid. Hence the Taylor Swift Super Bowl. Sorry, I got to get that plug in there, guys. But no, honestly, not surprised by this one. I'm happy the Ravens get their respect. I feel like there's a lot of ways the Ravens get disrespected, probably because we're a medium market. We're not a large market, but I'm happy they got the 5 primetime games. It's going to be really exciting, probably because Lamar Jackson generally plays really, really well in primetime. Outside of that, oh, wait, what?
So what? Sorry.
Who's this?
Huh?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
It was a long day, bro.
Do you need to go off camera real quick? Did DK let you in too quick? Are you good?
I let myself in.
Oh,
you live?
Yeah, we're live, man.
Dang, I didn't know we were live. I had no idea.
Yeah, we've been live for 10 minutes, dude. You just hopped right in. That's all. I was like, do you need a second before you hop in?
I didn't even know we were live. My hair's a mess, dude. I went right from the O's game. Walk off, by the way. 2-run shot. Adley Rutschman. Bada bing, bada boom. Right from that, right to my son's Little League game. And I was the only coach. The other coach is on vacation. So I got there, and shout out to the parents who helped. Long story short, Lugnuts win 12-11. That's right. 2 wins today. O's and Lugnuts. Let's go, squad. But yeah, let me see. So what all have you guys been talking about so
Sure.
far?
Yeah. So what we did was we ran through the whole schedule just week by week, just to lay out the schedule. And we started talking about primetime games based on the fact the Ravens they have 5 plus the Christmas game. So kind of 6 primetime games.
Dude,
Yeah.
back
So
to Christmas, bro. I mean, look, first team ever to play in back-to-back years on Christmas.
yeah. And I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm not surprised by the fact
Box
that the Ravens,
office.
yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying. Like, I think I'm not surprised by the number of primetime games, and then also the number of the number of primetime games. And like I was saying, I'm most excited by the fact that Lamar usually balls out in primetime.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that. But really, what we're gonna do next, and kind of what I was talking about, and where we can kind of hop in to this conversation, is just identifying a couple of things. I mentioned the bye is late.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people are saying the strength of schedule is
second, right? Second most difficult.
Yeah. And then so I want to talk about, get your take on the bye. Let's start there, but I also want to, just to kind of give you an idea, I want to also talk about the strength of schedule, if you like it, if you don't. I want to talk about the where the divisional games are as well. And then look, we're gonna give way too early predictions here, Glenn. Way too early.
Okay, let's get into it.
So tell me what you think about the bye. I want to know what your thoughts are, and then I'll give you mine.
Yeah, I mean, look, the bye, you never want it too early. I think ideally cutting the season in half is ideal. But look, if you had to choose either late or early, I think you would certainly choose late. Typically, guys are going to be beat up by that point in the season. Now, we have to see how the season plays itself out to know if that is, the most ideal time to have it. But typically a later in the year is certainly better than early in the year when guys, you don't want to have it early when guys are still relatively fresh. Most of the time, guys are on the healthier side. But yeah, week 14, I think that's a pretty good time. It's coming off, so it's on the heels. I mean, it's coming off of an Eagles matchup and preparing. One thing I will say, Jimbo, is I feel bad for the Giants in week 15, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just hope we get out of there healthy. That's what I'm most concerned with, that ridiculous field.
Yeah, that's a good point. You never like playing.
Think about it, man. You think you're playing the New York Giants, right? You show up, you land your plane in the airport, you stay at some airport hotel because the game's right at the airport. You don't sniff New York City. You end up smacking a team. You hope you get that healthy. You turn around, you have some Chipotle on the plane, and you go home. Talk about a boring trip to New York. Well, New York, right? Like, it could not be worse. I would hate to play the Giants.
Yeah, it just still blows my mind that they don't have a different field yet. Like, you can't, like, everyone talks about that field and the kind of the worries that go into it, and yet still we see, same old field. But look,
so I just want to say really quickly, as far as the bye goes, I mean, I'm okay with it. I'll tell you why I'm okay with it, Glenn. The older I get, the more I do things, the more I learn that the best way to be prepared for anything until I'm proven wrong, is to, in the most controlled way possible, absolutely traumatize yourself. Let me explain. That this is a gauntlet to week 14. There's a lot of tough games in here. Mm-hmm. But man, if you get there and you got a good record, you are downhill, coasting, flying through these last games right into the playoffs. And so that's what I mean by with reins, control, in a controlled way, challenge yourself so much that the rest of it is like, okay, sure. So I like the late bye. I think it kind of helps turn the corner. And if they can go into that bye with good momentum, then like you said, look out, not only the Giants, but I feel like the Steelers, the Texans, and the Browns are about to get mowed over, and we go into the playoffs with a lot of momentum. So I'm okay with this bye where it is, albeit late. I'm okay with where it is. And look, I'm not hoping for anything, but and I'm going to knock on some wood here. Generally, you know how it goes. Like, I feel like you were kind of talking about before, weeks 1 through 8, you usually get out of there pretty healthy, but you start getting nicked up in that 3rd, 4th of the season. So I feel like that week 14 could be a really timely bye to allow them to get some rest, but some really important rest. Right now, look, I'm going to hope for 100% health, but this is football, right? So, it's certainly not realistic to expect that. So yeah, I think that those are some of the advantages of this bye. Now, Glenn, all right, let's see what No Muck you says real quick. Ravens play so well on Christmas, we'll get grandfathered into a permanent spot.
Hey, we always see the Lions. We always see the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
True.
Let's just see the Ravens every year on Christmas. Start a new tradition. I like it. Why not? I mean, they're going to be good. They're going to be competitive every year. Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep them coming. I mean, it's funny though, because you also don't want them to lose on Christmas, right? Because you want good vibes. Everybody's having a good time. If they lose, it could sour the evening just a little bit, but let's hope it goes as well as it did last year. Shanta, no muck you.
Got to ask you a question though. Do you think that we're kind of breaking down the schedule, talk about this Christmas matchup? Is there any part of you that thinks it's possible that with all the expectations that the Texans now have, that there may be some regression due to the pressure? They're not playing with house money anymore. They're expected to be a playoff team. They're expected to X, Y, and Z. They've kind of, doubled down. They've gotten some vets. Obviously, they went out and got Diggs. Is there any way that pressure gets to him a little bit, right? Still with a young quarterback, and I don't deny his talent. Obviously played really well. But is it possible that last year, this upcoming season doesn't look quite like last year for them? Is it possible?
Well, they're going to have a tougher schedule. So from that standpoint, it will be a more difficult road. But, man, just like what they did on paper, what they added to both sides of the ball.
Perfect moves, right?
Yeah, like it's hard to look at the moves they did and go, they're going to be worse. Like, and of course, CJ Stroud being in his second year, like it's hard to imagine he's not going to take a next step. But they will have a more difficult schedule, and let's see what their division looks like. Because if Anthony Richardson can stay healthy, there's a lot. I guess there's a lot still that goes into it. But yeah, I mean, they ain't nobody gonna be sleeping on the Texans like they were last year. They're gonna be ready for them. But Jimmy, we haven't even talked on here about the week 1 matchup.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So we open the season going at Arrowhead. I think there's no surprise there. This is a matchup fans want to see. It's an exciting, I think it's the two best quarterbacks in football going up against each other. It's a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. And so my question to you, Jimbo, is like, what are you looking to get out of this game? Like, what would a statement win? What would that statement be? Like if they go out and they take care of business, say they beat them by a score, what is that? Does that do anything to erase the taste that was left in your mouth after last year? Or does this game, like what weight does this game hold for you?
Yeah, I think it holds more than a normal game's worth of weight, right? Only because I have every expectation that the Ravens see these guys later. And so I don't want the Ravens to feel like a young Bulls and this is the Pistons type thing, right? Unless it's that year, of course, where they overcome the Pistons and then, we start to, see that things start to turn the corner. But I think this holds more than a regular game's worth of weight, but I also think that it won't do much for me to take the bad taste out of my mouth from last year. Part of me, to be honest with you, Glenn, because as much as I rag on the whole thing, like I'm over it. It is what it is. When that ball's kicked off, like it's a whole new thing. It's a whole new race, a whole new game, it's a whole new season. So I just want to beat the Chiefs because I genuinely don't like the Chiefs, but also because I want to start 1-0. I want to beat a team that we could have a tiebreaker with later on. So yeah, I want to beat the pants off the Chiefs. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know if this game would do anything for me to take that bad taste out of my mouth.
Yeah, and of course, even if the Ravens handle business, they'll say, we'll see you in the playoffs, that type of thing. But look, there's no doubt you go out there and take care of business at Arrowhead, that certainly will start the season off in the right direction and hopefully give them some confidence if they were to see them later on down the line in the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. Yeah. But I also like to see, is there any stretches where there's long periods of road games? And what I do like to see is I don't see a 3-game stretch of road games, which is kind of rare for us as of late. We've had those situations, which in turn usually leads to 3 games in consecutive at home. So there is a plus side to it. But I don't like seeing long road trips, especially if you're a team that's going to travel a lot throughout the season, because those road trips can take a toll on the body. So I'm liking that I'm not seeing, 3 consecutive road games. But are you a bit surprised that Chargers game? Now, it's a Monday night game. I thought for sure that was going to be on one of the holidays, either Thanksgiving or potentially Christmas. Get that Harbaugh Bowl. But what are you thinking about the Harbaugh back to Monday night, November 25th? Did you expect this had to be a primetime matchup?
Has to be, absolutely. But I'm also going to tell you this, Glenn, I've said it before on the show. I think that they win the AFC West coming into this year. But I think this game, the Ravens beat them by double digits. I think part of the reason that is because
we know them. We'll know that offense.
That's what I'm saying. If anybody knows this offense inside and out, it's got to be us, right? And Roman's got things that even if we've said it before, even if it's happening, doesn't mean it's possible to stop. I think that we have the guys to do it. So I'm excited about this game. I'm excited to watch Jim over there. I like Jim Harbaugh, but what I love most about Jim Harbaugh is this face.
Yes. Oh, I love arms straight out.
Yep.
What
and
the
just
hell?
Looking around after he loses. Remember the holding penalty, the no call for the holding penalty against Jimmy Smith. That
Crabtree initiating the contact. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited to see that on a Monday night after the Ravens beat him up. But it'll be nice to see. Gus Edwards out there, J.K. Dobbins, Bradley Bozeman, right? Isn't he over there as well? Yeah. And who's the tight end?
Ed Dixon, right? Oh, no, Hayden Hurst. Ed Dixon. Jeez, I went
way far back. That was before Brad was born, bro.
Damn, where did I pull that name from? No, you're right. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick. That's going to be a fun matchup. Another thing I'm seeing, unless I'm incorrect here, and you can correct me, because I don't like how they break. I need to see this a little bit. So why do we have 2 Thursday night games, Jimbo? I thought that we only needed to do one. I was thinking that we'd get that out of the way in week 1. And now I see we actually have 2 Thursday games.
It doesn't count.
That's some bullshit. I was really
that's the way that I think the league is viewing it, right? It almost doesn't count because you don't have a short week coming into that game.
I know, but I thought 1 Thursday game for everybody. Now we got 2.
So hold on, though. In their defense, the only thing we gain here is, if I'm not mistaken here, let's see. Yeah, we just gained 2 longer weeks because we don't have a game, before week 1.
Yeah,
we get 2 10-day breaks, if I'm not mistaken. 10 days, something like that, right?
I hear you. Yeah, but you don't really need that after week 1. I mean, Jesus, it's the first game of the season. You don't need a mini bye.
Right. No,
but my whole thing is you're going off the heels of a Broncos game, which, albeit that's probably one of the teams in the AFC that are still kind of on their way up and still one of the worst teams. But 4 days rest, and you got to take on a Bengals team in a week 10 matchup. It's going to be huge, followed by another huge matchup in the division against the Steelers. So it's just, that's going to be whoever. I just hope that they come out of that Thursday game feeling, pretty healthy, because in 10 days, now they do have a mini bye to get ready for the Steelers. But man, I really was like, man, great. They got the Thursday game over with, out of the way, no short weeks for them. And then boom, here we go. I was wrong.
Yep. Yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, we'll see how that turns out. The other thing I want to kind of talk about is the division, right? Mm-hmm. So we don't play our first divisional game for the first 4 weeks of the schedule.
Yeah.
So, then of course it's week 5 against the Bengals, week 8 against the Browns. So we got the whole Ohio tour within the month of October. And then we got the Steelers week 11, and then 5 weeks later, week 16. How are you? I feel like it's relatively backloaded. I feel like that's a theme for the Ravens, except for, I think the first year we did this show, I think 3 out of the 5 early on were division rounds. I think it was 19 or 20. I can't remember what season, or division rounds, division games. But what do you like do you like the layout here, of the divisional rounds? I like that at the very least, they're not back to back. Wasn't there also a year where we had back to back to back? Something crazy. And that we had 2. Didn't it go Browns, Steelers, Browns?
And the Browns had a bye the week we were playing the Steelers. So they went Ravens by Ravens. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know how that shit. They said it spits out 100,000 schedules before they settle on one. Well, how the
why'd
hell
you
did you
settle on that
settle
one?
on that one, NFL? Holy shit. No, I like how it's spread out over the entire schedule. I will say I think we've had a lot of late season matchups against the Steelers and as of recently against the Bengals. So it's kind of nice to see that it's Cleveland in there. And
Yeah.
I think there's a chance that by week 18, who knows what happens with their quarterback situation. I know they got a good roster, but I look at them like there's a chance they could not have a whole lot to play for, and that maybe Cleveland's out of it by then. It really depends on the status of their quarterback. But if he continues, if he gets hurt again, then there's a good chance that game doesn't have a whole lot of
Joey
meaning.
Flacco ain't coming around this time.
Yeah. No Joey Flacco. But they did. Who'd they pick? Oh, they got Jameis Winston this year. So that's a decent backup if you got to go to a backup route.
Wait. You're being sarcastic, right?
I think that's a heck of a backup, Jameis
No, it's
Winston.
a heck of a backup, but you
don't want to be your starter, but
he loves throwing the ball to the other team.
Yeah, he does. High risk, high reward. That's the type of player he is.
Winston, boy. Dude, did you see Deshaun Watson's back art?
No, did he get a tattoo?
No, not his entire back. And he's got a Super Bowl ring on his back with nothing. It's empty. Like it's got, he's like waiting. He's like manifesting, I'm guessing.
Keep
on waiting, homeboy.
You're not doing it.
I was trying to see if there was a Easter egg in there of like his whole situation. If there was like an NDA in there somewhere, or like a like a really tiny massage table.
Oh no!
Could you imagine, dude?
He can't do that. He couldn't have done that.
Man, he would be right back in court tomorrow.
Yeah, he would have. No, yeah, that would have been no good.
But that dude is trying everything he can to distract people from who he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. My gosh.
Look, I look at this.
Oh, they got Huntley. They got Tyler Huntley. That's true.
Yeah. Who cares? I would love to see Huntley in the game against us. In the first 5 weeks, Jimbo, in the first 5 weeks, 4 of those games are pretty tough matchups. And so it makes me think about the run that they had last year where...
Oh, you worried about the Cowboys?
No, I'm just saying it makes me think about when we had to play, the Bengals, the Chargers, the Rams, the Jags, the Niners, the Dolphins, and people were going, man, that's a tough stretch. I mean, how are they going to fare? Well, what they do, they won all of them, Jimbo. They won all of them. So, yeah, it's a tough start to the season.
Hey, Glenn,
what?
Who picked them to win all of them?
Well, look, you're going to pick them to go 17-0, so I don't want to hear that shit, okay? I don't even want to hear it. I know you already have it 17-0 written on your notebook right now. But look, if you want to start with a tough schedule, come out of with it on top. As long as you come out of that first 5 with a winning record, I think you're doing something. But you come out there 4-1 or 5-0 like they did last year during that tough stretch. I mean, you're sending a statement to the rest of the league. You're putting confidence in the heads of these guys in the locker room, and it really could carry you. Because then after that, let's be honest, it gets a little bit easier. Washington's still in the rebuild with a rookie quarterback. Tampa Bay, well, they had a pretty good year last year, but they still got Baker Mayfield, and I'll take our chances against Baker Mayfield. And then you got Cleveland, Denver. I mean, there's a little bit of a stretch where it should be pretty forgiving, but those first 5 games, man, you're talking – 3 division winners and Cincinnati? That's a tough opening to the year.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're absolutely not wrong, Glenn. So let's run through this real quick then.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about your wins and losses. Let's just go week by week.
First week, Jimbo.
Okay, cool. All right, so
at Kansas City.
Let's do our classic. We're gonna take this off the screen real quick and let's transition into. There we go. Make sure you have your schedule up. I just wanted to.
I got it.
Make sure you're prepared. Okay,
I got
all right,
it. So week one at Kansas City to open the week. You know what? I just saw the video again, and I don't think I even saw this angle, dude. That video of Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce kicking Justin Tucker's tee away, and just, dude, it got me fired up, bro. Like. They kick his shit. He goes and picks it up. And I wish I could hear the audio of what they're talking. He puts it back. He goes to get in position, and they kick that shit over again, Jimmy. Like, it had me so fired up. They better beat these damn guys. And look, why not, right? Like, we're always good coming in the season, got good coaches. I say we win week 1, Jimbo. W to start the year. I don't even have to ask you, but I will. What are we doing?
Yeah, we're winning this game.
Of course, right?
We are winning this. Look, if they lose to the Detroit Lions week 1, and look, if they weren't big-headed before and thought they could start slow and get and end up winning the Super Bowl, then they certainly are now. Right?
Oh yeah. They're feeling themselves. That's right. That's
for
right.
sure. So look, at some point, things are going to change, and it's this year.
Yeah. Now look,
so W
2,
for sure.
At home, Raiders are coming to town. I don't know who's going to be their quarterback at this point. Everybody thought they were going to have one. I don't know who's going to be out there. What do you say, week 2?
W for sure.
Yeah, that's an easy one, right?
This is a tough one for me. Trying to, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really trying to figure out what we're going to lose. You know what I'm saying?
Well, at Dallas isn't going to be an easy matchup. It's a long travel, going to Jerry World. It's a good team. What do you think?
No, it's W. You can't convince me otherwise, Glenn, because we're talking about the NFC least. Look, what did they do last year, right? Like, the Eagles came in and floundered in the playoffs. Dak is getting praised for being the MVP for beating the Seahawks by 1, and we dismantled the Seahawks, right? Like, I don't even believe in the NFC, much less the NFC least. There's not a good. No, we're gonna beat them. We're 3-0. I'm not concerned at all. I was telling the folks I might be at this game because down in Dallas, I might go to Eric's house, go to the game,
cool.
and just troll everybody in that stadium. You paid thousands of dollars to watch these suckers lose. They're garbage. Go home. No point being here. You can't hack it in Baltimore, baby.
That's right. I got us losing that game. But week 4.
Wait, what?
Huh? Week 4. Hold on.
You see this, ladies and gentlemen? Don't forget now.
Look.
You call Glenn the people's champ, and that's fine. He can be the people's champ.
Look.
But we all know whose blood is more purple.
Just like Sean said, there's always that one dud in the first few weeks, okay?
Sure.
And I think that dud might have to happen with all that travel. Look, I don't want them to win. I don't want Dallas to win. I'm just saying I can't pick us to go 17-0, okay? Because I just can't do it. So I got to put a loss in there, and I'm going to do so in week 3. Tom Votto says, guys, do you know the only NFC team to beat the Ravens? I believe it's the Giants when Wink was there.
When Lamar did that whole throw it to the other team thing?
Yeah, that was not – that's the crazy – like, we should not have lost that game.
Yeah,
bro.
We dominated every single moment of that game except when it counted the most. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah. No, it was the Giants, but not this year. Not this year. They ain't beating us. Hell no, they ain't beating us.
No, that was young
year.
Lamar.
Yeah, was Lamar even – was he – yeah, he was in that game. Damn it.
Yeah. That was when – remember he like
– hoping to blame it on.
Threw a lobster into there.
That's right. It was a horrible decision. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's move on.
All right, week 4, playing Buffalo at home. Look, Buffalo, when they come to Baltimore, they know what time it is. Time to catch that L. We get the dub. I don't think their defense is ready to slow us down, and they lost a lot of weapons on offense. I know they got Lab McConkey. I like that guy. I think he's Keon Coleman. I like that guy. I think he's a heck of a player. I love his personality. I think he's absolutely hilarious to interview, but they still lose that game.
Yeah, I agree. 4-0 out the gate.
All right, I got us 3-1, but I'll take 3-1. That's not bad. All right, week 5. Come on now. I already know what you're doing.
This is my first loss.
Hold up.
My first loss, yeah. I think we split with the Bengals. I think they come back and play decent this year because they've got to realize that, like, there's some sort of an opportunity that's not going to be there next year from a wide receiver perspective. So I think they play with some urgency. And I think we lose this one. That's fine with me. I think we split with the Bengals.
Look, we ain't losing to no damn dirty Bengals. The Pussycats know their place in the division, and that's below the Ravens. And let me tell you something. I'm not so sure Joey B's wrist is ever going to be quite right. I'm still hearing a lot of talk about the wrist. He's reaching out to guys who have had similar injuries. Never found a quarterback that had this injury. Linebackers have these injuries. This guy's I'm thinking that wrist is going to be something that's going to plague him the rest of his career. We get the win, and we sweep the Bengals this year. That's right. That's right, Pussycats. Putting you in the litter box, getting that dub. Week 6 At home against the Commanders. What do you think?
Why even ask, right?
I know, right? This is a walk-in. This is an easy
Oh,
dub.
we're not going to win this game. We're going to punch them in the face. Like, it's not just going to be a win. It's going to be an annihilation.
That's right. All you guys thought Daniel Snyder's gone. The wins are going to start coming.
No.
Well, not week 6, baby.
Nah.
Nope.
No gimmies. Week 7. So I got the Ravens right now 5-1. You got them 5-1 as well?
I got them 5-1, but my one is going to be the correct one, and yours losing to the Bengals. Anyway.
Just losing to the freaking Cowboys, dude. They're the NFC and not. Anyway.
Dude, jet lag.
Did you say jet lag? You're gonna blame it on jet lag for a little bop down to Dallas.
Dude, I don't know what Jerry World is up to. They could be pumping stuff through the air vents. I don't know what Jerry will do anything to win, okay? He could be doing some illegal stuff. We got to watch that guy. But they got 2 road games coming up,
hire
week 7, week 8.
Daughter to do some spying for us. The one he won't claim.
Dude, I would love to know how many kids that guy actually has.
Oh my God.
Let's be honest. I think he's got quite a few that he's not willing to admit to. Next 2 games on the road, starting with week 7 at Tampa. Oh, Baker, what do you think?
Oh, we win this one. Not worried about Baker Mayfield. Baker half dozen. What am I trying to say? Half a Baker's dozen. Yeah, there you go.
I like that.
He's one short of a Baker's dozen.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't lose that game. There's no way we lose a game in Florida to Baker Mayfield. There's just no chance in hell. I don't see it. But week 8, staying on the road, going to Cleveland to take on the massage therapist himself. What do you think?
Oh, man, I'm such a homer. How we...
Huh?
How are we losing to the Browns, dude?
We're not.
I gotta pick us to lose something.
You already did.
Yeah, 1 game.
We ain't losing to the doo-doo ass Browns.
We're not. I agree, but I agree. All right, we ain't losing the Browns, so we're 1. Well, according to me, we're 1-1 in the division. According to you, we're 2-0 in the division.
Yep.
And then we move on to the Broncos, and just like the Commanders, absolute annihilation for the Broncos. They come into Baltimore, and as soon as it's one of those things where they get off the plane, turn around, right back on the plane.
That's right.
Like, what was the point? Type thing. So we win that one.
It was a long trip to Baltimore just to take that L back to the Mile High
So what
City.
you're saying is by week 10, we will have swept the end of week 10. We will have swept the Bengals, and we will have 1 loss.
Dude,
is that what you're saying, Glenn?
I ain't worried about the Bengals.
No,
I'm
not.
Just say that they're done.
I think we win. I just maybe I'm giving him a little too much respect.
I can't wait to see Derrick Henry just pushing Bengals face masks into the dirt. That's what I can't wait to see.
Dude, I can't, after that Rosengarten show last night, I cannot wait to see that guy manhandling Hendrickson.
That's right.
And then tell him to point up at the scoreboard.
Yeah. No, they get that dub. They beat Denver, and then they beat Cincinnati at home. They sweep them. Now, here's where I have to give us our next loss, Jimbo. Week 11 at Pittsburgh. We never seem to sweep Pittsburgh, at least not in recent history. So I do think we lose that game at
Russell
Pittsburgh. I think Justin Fields and the incredible rush attack that they're going to be doing at that point, I think is, and they got 2 big ass tackles. They got 2 capable backs. One of them who's underachieved and a bit overrated, but he's still okay. In Najee Harris. That was a shout to you, Jimbo. You're welcome.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, I do think Pittsburgh sneaks us in that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you on this one. I think we end up 4-2 in the division. I think we split with the Bengals. I think we split with the Steelers.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so we agree. Loss in week 11. Now at the Chargers. I was almost said the Clippers. At the Chargers, and this is the Hard Bowl, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
and
10-point win.
Yeah, I just don't think they're ready.
No, I mean, if you look at their team, they got some guys, and I think people are undervaluing who they are or underrating who they are. Like, we know the players they are, and we know the kind of spark they can have. But I think the familiarity is going to hurt them. I also think there's a chance that their lack of depth could hurt them. I think that people are really concerned about the wide receiver core. I have zero concern about their wide receiver core, to be completely honest with you. I think Hayden Hurst might have a career year, and I think that J.K. Dobbins might make himself a butt ton of money if he comes.
Gus Edwards is going to have a dozen tutties again.
Yeah, or something. Or at least, I mean, look, every year with Roman, he averaged 700 plus yards, 5+ a carry. and I think
Half
5 or
dozen
5 or
touchdowns.
7 touchdowns, something like that. So, I mean, that's what we'll expect out of Gus. So, but I think we win this game by 10. I think familiarity is going to be the plague of Greg Roman.
Because nobody knows how to prepare for that offense because it's just the only one like it. Well, I mean, if there's any team that should be able to at least, prepare for him a little bit, you'd think it would be the team that.
Yeah,
had Greg
Jim's
Roman.
going to be yelling from the other sideline, "Stop reading our plays!" He's going to be all upset because he knows all the plays, and John's going to be sitting there in the headphone calling him out. All angry. Daddy's cheating.
Daddy, and they're all and look, the defense is practiced against it. These guys will be ready for it, but it's a big game. And really, what Philly team is there that's going to be showing up to Baltimore in Week 13? That's the question. Because if we had the first 10 weeks of the season last year's Philly, that could be a damn tough game. If we have that team that showed up after Week 10 of all last year, then it looks like it might be a walk in the park. But what do you think, Jimbo?
You know what, Glenn? I'm going to give us a loss here. I think that they're the only real team in the NFC East. And I know that their head was screwed on all sorts of ways last year, but I think they do right the ship as a team. I believe in the DNA that Philly has, the culture the culture might be strong, but I like their quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts is real. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. I think Saquon Barkley is obviously going to help. But really, the reason I'm taking this L here is because we're coming off an emotional Monday night game, short week, and then rolling into Week 13, even though we're coming home, still a long road trip out and back, and it's on a short week. I'm taking a loss here.
Damn. Nah, we're beating these boys. Let me tell you, by Week 13,
you got us with 1 loss?
No, I got us two losses.
Two
the
losses.
Cowboys and the Steelers. I think by this point, Philly's locker room implosion has already taken place again. I don't believe that their head coach can keep that locker room that's got a lot of strong personalities from imploding when things go wrong. And by Week 13, I got a feeling that at least something would have gone wrong at that point. And A.J. Brown will probably be pissed off about something. And their quarterback, while I like him, I don't think he has a strong enough personality to control those loud mouths on the team when things aren't going right. So I think because of the lack of leadership and maybe the loudest and most active leaders on that team, maybe not the best guys you want actually as your leaders. So I do think that they're going to be in shambles. I say we win that week, heading into the bye with just 2 losses. And look, it's a long, long Week 15 for the New York Giants because coming off a bye, I mean, who's going to be their quarterback? Nobody knows. They don't have Saquon anymore. Their offensive line, while they've used more draft capital towards their offensive line than any team in the last 5 years. And I don't think anything's going to change. I think their quarterback will get his head
things are going to change. It's going to be worse. It's because Saquon is gone.
Yeah.
What's going to happen when Tommy DeVito's under center? Throw the whole playbook out, because last year it was one sentence: get the ball to Saquon.
Hand it or throw it to him, one or the other.
And if you're throwing it, no more than 4 yards.
And Darren Waller looks like he's going to eventually announce his retirement. Looks like they're expecting it, even though he hasn't officially delivered it.
Is he doing okay?
I don't know. I think he's like, they announced that he split with his wife, Kelsey Plum, the WNBA player. So I don't know. I hope he's doing okay. But a guy with his history going through some pretty big changes, retirement and marriage ending.
I think he just put out an album, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I hope he gets it together, man. That was one of the guys that's like, man, if he could have gotten it together when he was here, man, what kind of player that guy could have been here.
Look, he goes into retirement. I mean, the Giants will send you into retirement.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right? Look, don't be surprised if he ends up back in old B-Town.
I think we got a pretty good tight end room.
No, sure, we got a great one, but Darren Waller can play anywhere. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, all right. We'll have to wait and see. But both of us have the Giants game as a dub. Next game at home against Pittsburgh. Last couple times they've come here, Jimbo, we've left a little bit sad.
Yeah, not happening. I said they split. We take the home game. They take the home game.
Yeah, I agree. I had us losing to them at Pittsburgh, so I do think we bounce back and get that dub. Now, how about Week 17, Christmas Day at the Houston Texans?
Yeah, this is a win. It's a win for me.
Okay, just flat out.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not on the. I don't want to say I'm not on the bandwagon, but I'm still at wait and see, because, like I said, I think there's a shift now, because it's not a house money game anymore for these guys. This is we got to get it done now because as soon as we got to pay CJ Stroud, life's going to change type situation, right? So I don't know. I think that things will change. I think that we'll start to see that there. I also think Diggs is a cancer.
I hate to say it because he's a Terp, but I mean,
he's a cancer, dude.
We heard coming out of Buffalo. Yeah.
I mean, come on, dude. If you have the same problems in every relationship that you're in,
yeah,
it's you, dude.
And you saw what type of dead money they're eating. Like,
yeah, to get him out of there.
It must have been bad.
Yeah. And I'm not saying he wasn't justified or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Frustrations are just, but
you have to show some decorum.
That's right.
Right? Like, come on,
like,
man.
Your quarterback doesn't want to be playing poorly. And you going like this on the sideline or chirping in his ear, that's not going to make him snap out of it. Like,
yeah.
And I'm a Diggs guy. I mean, he's a Terp. Like, I'm a Diggs guy. But the stories I was hearing coming out of Buffalo and the reason why they got him out of there, it's just like, dude, you can't do that. Like, kicking guys when they're down, like putting salt in the wound. Like, you got to build guys up in some of those moments, not just kind of, kick them, continue to kick them when they're down. But yeah, I think that's a tough game for Houston. It's probably a game that is going to be important for both teams. Could ultimately, I mean, who knows? It could be number one overall seed could be in discussions there in that Week 17 matchup. But I do think we take the L in Week 18 only because we're going to be seeing a lot of guys sitting on the bench.
17? Oh, okay. You're going on to Week 18. Yeah, actually, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, I agree with you.
Meaningless game. We sit down those guys. So I got us at 14-3, Jimbo.
Oh, you know what? Shoot, I can't even say that because I think we go 4-2 in the division. I think we win it. I have to take the win because I think we got to go 14-2 because we split with the Bengals.
So what do you have us at? What, 15-2 overall for the season?
Yep.
And I have us at 14-3.
And look, 10 toes down, baby. Isn't that the saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there you go. I said it right. You heard it here.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got conviction.
Be bold. And you know what? I'm still predicting. And I think maybe multiple of us have said this on this stream is that Justin Herbert's going to be the MVP of the league, even though, and look, and they're probably going to win their division, like you said, Jimbo. Like they're probably going to beat the Chiefs because of how unique they are. And look, this isn't like Jim's new to Greg Roman. He's there's a familiarity with those two guys.
They hit the ground running. I mean,
yeah, like it's going to
be
a
surprised
tough
if Colin
team.
Kaepernick comes in as the backup.
Hey,
like, honestly, don't be surprised. I'm not even being sarcastic. Like,
yeah. Who are your losses, Brad? He thought you were going to have a 16-1. Brad, you were almost right. 15-2. I mean, he had us one more loss. And now, you know what? I'm proud of you, Jimbo, because I thought you had a 17-0 before we started doing this. Honestly,
look, I have respect for the teams in our division. Not much more respect outside of that. But DK says we are going to be. What's the math there? 4 losses, DK. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's that? 13-4. Yep. All right. I'm still okay at math. He thinks we lose to the Bills, Steelers, Chargers, and Texans. And then Brad thinks we're 12-5. Thinks we lose to the Chiefs, Bengals, Eagles, Steelers, Browns. Brad.
So he's got a split in the division. Okay, I could see that.
Ooh,
split in the division. I could see it though. And then
no, for sure. I just hate it.
Brad, did it hurt you to have to pick the Chiefs to beat us? Did it hurt you a little bit to type that team in?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Come on. We can't have the damn Chiefs winning this game because look, that's all we're going to hear about until the next week's games are going on. I cannot. Now, my next question, Jimbo, do we see? Or is this whole Taylor thing? Is this still going to be a thing this year?
I so hope not. Like, when is it no longer?
Like, is it still?
I mean, until the cash cow runs out of cash, right?
I don't want to. I mean, I have nothing against the girl, but I don't want it to be a constant thing. Every time they have a good play, they show her smiling. Every time they have a bad play, they'll glance up there. It's like, no.
I just wanted this to be known for everyone that thinks that Travis Kelce, because he's an athletic tight end in the NFL, can play in the NBA with a beer gut. You better shut up. He's 6'4". He couldn't last on a D3 college basketball team right now. Straight up. Couldn't. I guarantee it. That's all I need to do. Look, I'm still on this whole list thing.
Dude, I
it's
saw
outrageous to me.
It is, but I saw Devontae
Adams
Adams
play in the NBA.
Hold on. There's not just one. There's got to be more. We just don't know that. We don't have the tape. I saw Devontae Adams putting on an absolute dunk show. Head hitting the rim, and he is an old man now.
As well as I do. That's so much more to basketball than simply dunking
certainly.
the ball.
But we don't know how good these guys are. These guys were probably multi-sport athletes, I'm assuming. Right? Let's give them a little bit of credit. I think
some of them, look, all I'm saying is that Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, Hall of Famers, failed basketball players, didn't even sniff the NBA. Hall of Famers in the NFL.
Yeah.
Didn't even sniff it, dude.
No, I hear you.
Jimmy Smith wasn't sniffing. He's a giant, right? Like one of the freaks we've seen in the NFL wasn't getting close to the NBA, dude. Wasn't playing in the Euro League. Homeboy had to go to China if he wanted to play ball.
That might be the case.
No,
but we're not here to talk. We're not here to on NFL players, Jimmy. Let's get it together. First of all, get it together, dude. Get it together. No, but I think this schedule ultimately panned out pretty well for the Ravens. I know they're excited not to do any international games. They're not going to Germany. They're not going to, was it Brazil this year? Is there a game?
Yeah. Brazil, Germany, London. Is there a Mexico City game this year? I don't think so.
I think it's just those three as the international, if I remember correctly. But it's good for the Ravens. I know that they had a great time going to London and getting to see some of those Ravens fans that are over the pond there. But it's tough to do all that travel, man. So it's nice to see that, maybe next year they'll have to deal with it, but at least not for this year. No 3 in a row road games. Late bye is a plus. Like all these seem to be pluses in my book, Jimbo.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I like the strength of the schedule because just like I said at the beginning, let's sharpen ourselves. Mm-hmm. Let's play the best. Let's get out there. And if we're going to fail, let's fail fast. Let's learn from it. Let's figure it out. So that way we get to the postseason. We're not a big fish in a small pond. Let's slay all the dragons, mental, physical, emotional, all of it. Let's win the psychological war going into the playoffs. So I'm happy about it. I love.
Does Marquise Brown have a big game week 1? Like they're gonna have to because
that's a tough one because they got 2 speedsters, right? So you think it'd be fun to watch Nate Wiggins absolutely shut him down, right? Even though that'd be a really tall task for a rookie, right?
That'd be lovely. I would love to see it. But I got a feeling he's going to be a massive part of their game plan. Coaches love to buoy up.
For sure. And Andy Reid for sure.
Dude, he's going to definitely be in the game plan.
I mean, he's going to have a touchdown.
He's going to have targets. We don't know if he's going to catch them.
Because he's their number 1 guy.
Yeah, he is. Right now, I would put him in. I mean, Rashee Rice with his legal problems, who knows? I think maybe if those weren't there, then he's probably listed. Is he up for
suspension potentially?
I'm hearing different things. I'm hearing it might not be till next year, which is crazy to me, because of the legalities that they might kick the can down. I'm like
Taylor Swift, dude,
he was going 100 miles an hour. There's rumors that he was shooting in a different vehicle, or at least people in his car were shooting a different vehicle. As soon as the crash happened, another vehicle pulls up to get rid of, and they go running off with weapons, with paraphernalia, with it should be an absolute mess for the guy, but I wouldn't also be shocked to see that these guys, end up getting out of it somehow. He just, how it is, Jimbo.
Yeah, no, for sure. But we do have a big announcement while you're all here. DK is going to put this on the screen. I think this is really exciting. We've been working through Patreon for a while, and we appreciate all your patronage. But one of the things we're going to do from a strategic standpoint is we're going to swap over to YouTube memberships. We're going to do that for 2 reasons. One, really the main reason is for you guys. We think that simply the access is going to be easier, and more easier to access, easier for us. And the second part is going to be easier for us to provide you with more content. That's what it's going to be about, right? I think DK and Brad got some cool stuff up their sleeve, and I'm not going to steal their thunder, so I'm not going to give it away yet. But keep an eye out for that stuff. Make sure you check it out. We'll have different levels. DK is the brainchild behind this whole thing, so you can be sure it will be done well. It'll be done good, and it'll be exciting, really compelling stuff. So make sure you guys check it out. We're really looking forward to it. But I think that's it for us tonight.
Well, hold on. Let me tell him tomorrow night, guys, Jimmy's going to get the night off, the much needed. He's going to chill with the baby. It's going to be me and Cole going to be hanging out, doing a complete breakdown of this entire class. Since the draft, Cole has been doing a good job of breaking down every one of these guys. He has individual videos on all of them. We're going to have him come on and just do a recap of all those guys. Get us what he liked, what he didn't like, how these guys fit the team, even the head scratchers. We talked about Leary and all that. We're going to get into all of it with Cole tomorrow. 8:15 is when we're supposed to go live. Make sure you guys are here to get all the good information.
Absolutely. Yeah. So make sure you guys check it out, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
See you.